Hiya, I'm Sonya Roseman, and I thought today I would talk about the films that I've made. Not the ones that when I trained in acting and got roles in other films, but my own films. So I trained at Horsted College. I did performing arts there, and it's been knocked down since then, unfortunately. Now there's new houses up there and all that kind of thing, so it's such a shame. Every time I drive past there, I always think of those memories that we had performing in the theatre and all the good laughs that we had at that time, doing Shakespeare and the masks show. We had to make our own masks, see, and then perform with the mask on and let the mask kind of show you what to do. It's really strange. I can't really describe it. You have to kind of do it yourself. If you've ever been in a mask show because you're training to be an actor, I think it's such a great thing to do. So we studied Stanislavski as well. So my learning in acting, my education is for method acting. That's how I started. Anyway, so I've made a few films, and I always wondered why there wasn't actually a film about the ghost of Bluebell Hill. So in a nutshell, basically, there was a lady in 1965, and there was a car crash on Bluebell Hill on November the 19th. And there was a lady and 3 other girls were actually on her hen party. It was a Friday night, and this was on the old road, the old A228 road, coming back from Maidstone. Now it's a motorway. In 1972, the motorway was built, so it's the old road, and it's still a really horrible road. It gives me the creeps. Even, I've got to say, going down Bluebell Hill always gives me the creeps, and now I know I've made the film about it, I don't want to be part of that history, if you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, so I was so fascinated by the story of this car crash. So that in alone, it was so sad that they died the night before she was due to get married. They went into a Mark III Cortina, I think it was. I'm sure someone will put me right if I was wrong, but I think that's what it was. Anyway, so I went checking out all the stories. I went back and went to the library, and I did lots of research on the microfiche at Strood Library. So I would spend days and days in there just writing notes, getting things together, getting printouts of the old newspapers. And then I found out there wasn't one car crash. There was many odd things that happened up there, you know. And I find that just so fascinating. And so many people, they say, have stopped, seen a girl walking down the hill. She jumps in the car. They get to the bottom of the hill, and she disappears in the back of the car. Or the other story is that they hit the girl, and they get out the car, they see her and hit her, and they feel the bang, get out the car, she's just not there. Also, I found out through going through the newspapers, actually, that there was suicides and strange murders, things that the police really didn't go and follow up on. Do you know what I mean? God, I'm making a lot of mistakes today. Yeah, so I thought, I'm going to write the film. So I did that. I was at a point in my life. I lived on Rochester High Street. I lived at number 20, Rochester High Street. I lived in an old house, which I believe was about 500 years old. I had a flat in it. It's about 4 or 5 flats, and I was on the 3rd floor. Yeah, so I started to write this. I was going through a really bad breakup with my ex. This guy was always cheating on me. You know, it's that one. And I thought, I'm just going to try and turn something so painful like that time in my life into something good. You know, you've got to try and see if you can reach for something good when everything is just so painful and so hurtful. So I full throttle went into the writing of this screenplay. So I took many of the stories that I found online and that I found over at the library, because not everything is online. That's why I had to go digging quite deep for it. And I made this screenplay. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm never going to be able to film it. Well, blow me, a year later, I did. Unfortunately, the way that I got the money to film it was my dad passed away and he left me £8,000. And I thought, I'm going to do something good with the money, something that I've always wanted to do. So I put all of that money into making The Ghost of Bluebell Hill. So I did that, and I at the end of the film, it's on YouTube if you wanted to go and watch. Yeah, it's on my channel, my YouTube channel, Sonya Roseman, and there's parts 1, parts 2, and the actual full feature film. And at the beginning, there's a little old gent who's passed away now called Nigel Day, and he went out with one of the girls that was in the car crash that night. He really loved her, and he passed away a couple of years ago now, about 3 years ago, and he never got involved with anybody because he loved this Gillian, this girl that was in the car crash with Suzanne Brown and the other girls. So that's quite sad. So I learnt quite a lot about the girls from him alone. So and I did try to get hold of the only girl that is left alive now, but she wouldn't talk to me, which is totally understandable. I don't want to hurt anybody or bring anything up, you know, that causes pain. So that was that. So every year the newspapers get involved and they call me and they ask me what I feel about Bluebell Hill and all of that. I've been mentioned in The Sun and the local rag. So it's really nice. It's kind of like it comes full circle once a year, usually in Halloween to November time when the actual crash happened. Anyway, so my little point here is be careful up on that hill. I tend to think that it has bad, you know, ley lines on it. There's just bad feelings. There used to be a hanging tree on that hill, on that old road. That's something that I found out that you don't really seem to find out there, and so many other things. It's just a strange old place. I mean, even the landlord of the Lower Bell, which is the road that it happened on, he had some funny stories to tell me, but I'll tell you those if you in another video another time. As for ghosts and that kind of thing, I've always had something that wherever I move to seems to follow me, and it opens doors and it crashes and bangs in the middle of the night and throws things off of a shelf, you know, when there is no wind, that kind of thing. So this is such a bad mistake of mine, such a bad mistake. So I was still living at Rochester High Street, yeah, at number 20. With the printouts that I got from over at Strood Library with the car crash, that kind of thing, I decided to put them on my wall in my kitchen. I had a galley kitchen. It was a really big kitchen. I was always spending my time in there, having parties with my friends and that kind of thing. And I thought it would be a really good talking point. It wasn't. Within 2 days that I'd put these things up in the kitchen, so you've got the car crash that, you know, bride girls, you know, drive to death or whatever it was, 3 girls killed, blah, blah. I didn't realise that I probably had invited some kind of bad vibe in, you know what I mean, like that. Because a couple of days later, my flat burnt down. Now, I always had candles in the kitchen, but this one night, I I went to bed, went back into the kitchen, opened the door, and this fire was horrendous. And I thought, Jesus, I'm going to die. So I'm running around trying to get my cats out and all of this. It literally gutted the whole building. The landlord wouldn't let me move back in, funnily enough. Oh dear. But, oh Jesus Christ. What was left? Now everything was molten. The back door was blown off. The windows were blown out. The only thing that was left, there was even a washing machine that someone had given me. That was molten, and it was about this shape and that big. It was molten in the corner. But you know what was still on the wall? The stuff that I had printed out to do with the ghost of Bluebell Hill. And I swear to God that is true. That is just so strange. When we were filming as well, we caught some really strange footage of something weird on the reflection of a mobile phone on a scene that we was doing with the killer in it. Because my film is obviously fiction based, but with facts as well. Anyway, so that's that. I hope you like that, and I shall be back soon telling you a little bit more. Thanks for watching. My name's Sonya Roseman. Please give me a comment, a like, and a subscribe. Thanks for listening. Cheers. You have a great day. Big love.